Hey guys, we are back with Mike from Apogee, the dev of Below the Stone. So Mike, tell us a little bit about Below the Stone. Tell us about Apogee and what you've been doing and how your career's gone so far with video game design.
Yeah, I guess I should start with where it started. So back in 2019, we had a Kickstarter which didn't quite make its funding. However, what ended up happening was we had hundreds of new fans that showed up to our Kickstarter. We ended up making around 50%, which on Kickstarter means you don't exactly make your funding. But once we did that, we actually ended up having hundreds of fans come out. A publisher that contacted us, Apogee. We had dozens of publishers actually contact us. And from there, we actually had it where it was really incredible. From there, it was just everybody telling us that you should keep going, you should keep doing what you're doing, you're making a great game, and that's what made us want to keep going and make this game. And obviously we're here at PAX, right?
PAX West 2021,
PAX
yep.
West 2021.
We are here.
Yeah, and with Apogee, and we decided to team up with them to relaunch our Kickstarter, and it was incredible how, due to PAX, what we're talking about here, right? We ended up getting our goal by the second day of PAX. So a lot of people are saying, PAX is going to be coronavirus, this year. But in reality, it became a huge deal.
Huge success for all the indie publishers that have been here.
Yes, exactly. I think with Microsoft and Xbox, in my opinion, out of the way, it ended up becoming this massive pullout for all of the indies that are involved here.
It's great. So obviously you told us about a little bit of what you do, a little bit of how Below the Stone started. What's the game actually about?
Yes, so Below the Stone is a pixel art roguelike about dwarves. So for anyone in the audience who's an elf or a gnome, I'm sorry. But with this game, we chose dwarves because it makes sense for mining, right? And we had it where we wanted to make it so it was inspired by a lot of the games that we played growing up. Like, I'm sure you've played in Minecraft, Terraria, Stardew Valley.
Yep.
A lot of those games that inspired us went into this game. A lot of that love from those games went into this game. And from there, we decided, okay, we need a twist. So let's make it a roguelike, right?
Yeah.
And with all that combined, we ended up making what ended up becoming a huge success on Kickstarter now. And to me, even the one in 2019 was a huge success because I would not call gaining hundreds of new followers, having dozens of publishers contacting you a failure at all. Right?
No, not at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, and obviously having publishers as big as Apogee reaching out to you it's a huge success. And honestly, I feel like Below the Stone has a lot of potential to go places and just be a great game in general.
Thank
so
you.
Where do you feel like you want to see Below the Stone? And what's next after that? Where do you see yourself in a few years with Below the Stone and everything that's going on with you?
Yeah, of course. With indie games in general, I think one of the major differences between AAA games and indie games is that indie games are they're kind of doing it from the heart, right? Whereas indie games, AAA games, right? AAA games kind of do it like, there's a mass publisher, they're worried about stockholders, they're worried about losing money, they're worried about changing things. So a lot of huge innovation happens on the indie level. And from there, you get a lot of people who really love what they're making, and they're willing to expand on the game further than what like a AAA game would be willing to do, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. I feel like indie games in general just have the potential. You kind of have more freedom, more fun with it. You're just, kind of by yourself with your studio, obviously. Or some people do it solo. Honestly, props to the people that do it solo because honestly, it's very big, but it just gives you a whole bunch of creative freedom when you're tied to a AAA title. You're kind of like, stocks, business, all this. But it's been really nice talking to you. I actually got to play Below the Stone I'd say for about a good 30, 45 minutes. I really loved it, and especially since my audience is more oriented towards Minecraft and a lot of, more games of those style. And they obviously, I feel like, would really enjoy Below the Stone. And even some of my content creator friends, I'm sure they'd love to try this out. So where do you think, where could we find Below the Stone right now? On social media, Steam, Kickstarter, where's all that?
So we have a Below the Stone Twitter account and Discord. And of course, during our conversation here, we have our Kickstarter running. And again, we have 28 days left from me speaking right now, right? And with an incredible success of, with all of our fans who've come out to support us, literally hundreds of people who've been following us for years now are finally seeing it all come together.
In person.
Yeah, in person, yeah.
At PAX. I mean, like,
PAX,
a year ago, like, with the whole pandemic, this wouldn't have been possible.
Yes.
But, but now we're here again in person, obviously with masks and restrictions. But
Yes.
we are back, and it's
Exactly.
honestly incredible to see everything
Yes.
that the indie developers and PAX have been able to put on this year. So,
Yes.
yeah, I mean, honestly, I wish you the best of
Thank
luck
you.
with
I
this,
really
and
appreciate
I'm
it.
really excited to see where Below the Stone goes. So,
Awesome.
yeah, guys, this is going to be our final interview here at PAX, I believe, but it was really nice talking to Mike
Yeah,
and
thank you.
everything. Yeah, and I hope everything goes well with Below the Stone. Yeah, and hope that you guys enjoy the rest of the video.